Welcome to Dr. P.C. Verma, Economist, YouTube class. In this class, we will learn General Equilibrium Theory of Value. General Equilibrium Theory of Value, which is the basis of Hexa-Ohlin Theory of International Trade. There is a dispute between classical economists and modern economists. Classical economists say that in domestic equilibrium, demand and supply is used, and equilibrium is obtained by intersection between demand and supply. This intersection between demand and supply was implemented by Alfred Marshall in 1890 when he had published his book, The General Theory of the Principles of Economics, 1890, Principles of Economics. But in 1776, Adam Smith, father of economics, he has published many books, but very popular book is An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of Wealth of Nations. This wealth term is used by a finance minister in this 2020 budget, and the target of economic survey was wealth creation. Our government at present is interested in wealth creation and then distribution among the people to increase welfare. So the term wealth is very important. What is wealth? Anything which has value, it is called wealth. Anything which has value, it is known as wealth. And in general equilibrium theory of value, we find that there is two sides. One is demand side, another is supply side. And there will be factor market and commodity market. This general equilibrium theory of value states that there is interrelationship between factor market and commodity market. There is interdependence between factor market and commodity market. And general equilibrium theory of value states that there is no difference between domestic trade and international trade. Bertil-Ohlin established theory of international trade, modern theory of international trade, that is known as Hexa-Ohlin theory of international trade. Because Hexa started writing about this and hiding mathematical derivations and all that. And his student was Bertil-Ohlin. When he has to complete his PhD, then PhD topic was this. And he had completed PhD and factor moment difference that was propounded by Hexa-Ohlin. He matched with his analysis and gave name Hexa-Ohlin theory of international trade. Check in the Google. Nobel Prize is awarded to Bertil-Ohlin. And his matter is so important that in the world economy, Hexer-Holling theory of international trade is regarded as modern theory of international trade. What did Holling say? That what is international trade? What is international trade? International trade means trade between two nations. Two nations. But in the nation itself, what is national trade? What is national trade? Trade between Bihar and Maharashtra, trade between Bihar and Bengal, trade between Bihar and Tamil Nadu. This is national trade within the boundary of nation. But we have not that. We have village market. There is a trade between one village market with another village market. There is a trade between north region to south region. In south, if you go there, you will find out where is bread, roti ka dukan, North Indian food. Because you are from north and you are in south for 1 month, idli dosa, idli dosa. And you would like to take your North Indian dish. Then you find out in Chennai, you find out one shop written there, North Indian. North Indian food with South Indian flavor. South Indian taste, because their cook is somewhat using same things, but you can get bread and roti, chapati, or the things you get. Preferences. In domestic market also preferences differ. So, Owen was rewarded Nobel Prize in Economics. He said that international trade is nothing but inter-regional trade, interlocal trade. What is starting? Interlocal trade. What is thereafter? Inter-regional trade. What is thereafter? International trade. So there is a spatial differences. A space, matlab jagah. Interlocal trade will be village market. Interregional will be one state with another state market. And international trade means one nation with another nation. Virtually, from economics point of view, there is no difference between interlocal market, interregional market, international market. Only the difference of a space. Look here, in Patna town, many people from Lahore came with certain goods from there, fruits, dry fruits, and they sold it in Patna. And that was domestic trade in 1946.
Yes, sir.
1946, that was domestic trade. You go to the sabji bar and you can get fruits directly from the persons coming from Lahore, original. Because Lahore was a state and Patna, Bihar was not a state, but Bihar, Patna was there at that time. At that time, Bihar, Bengal, Assam, all are mixed into one state, bigger state. So Lahore and Bengal, Bihar, Odisha, that state. Jharkhand was also there. This is known as inter-regional trade.
Regional trade.
Inter-regional trade. And if same thing between two places in Bihar, Bengal, Odisha state, this is being traded, then it is interlocal. Interlocal. interlocal trade, interregional trade, international trade. According to Bertin, these three are same. These three are same. Interregional trade, interlocal trade, interregional trade, international trade. All these all are same. Only declared that international trade is a special case of interlocal trade or interregional trade. It is a special case because from one country to another country. अगर आप कनाडा में प्लेन पर चढ़ते हैं और अफ्रीका जाते हैं 17 आवर्स डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट 17 घंटा जैसे लगेगा कि बिहार से आप जा रहे हैं बेंगलोर 17 घंटा से वो ज्यादा लगेगा 2 रात लग जाएगा तो by plane 17 hours will take place from North America to Africa. Larger distance, covering several continents. So international trade means larger space. That's all. That's all. International trade and domestic trade, international trade and national trade has no fundamental difference. Has no fundamental difference. Only the difference of a space. Only saying that demand and supply, theory of price determination, demand and supply theory of value determination is original. This is applied to interlocal trade, interregional trade, and international trade. He said that there is no need of any separate theory of international trade. What is required? That we add something to the domestic trade to make it a larger size market price determination. So, there is international trade, international trade is a special case of interlocal trade and inter-regional trade. Bertin said that there is no difference between interlocal or inter-regional trade and international trade and there is no difference between interlocal trade and inter-regional trade. There is no difference between interlocal trade or inter-regional trade and international trade. A space a smaller space, bigger space, and a still bigger space. This may be inter-local trade. This may be inter-regional trade. This may be international trade. So there is difference of a space. There is a spatial difference between international trade, inter-regional trade, interlocal trade. In any competitive examination, you will get a question. Discuss. There is no difference between international trade and interlocal trade and interregional trade. That means you have to write down what in Ohlin theory of international trade. He said that international trade is a special case of interlocal trade and interlocal trade or inter-regional trade. International trade is a special case of interlocal trade or inter-regional trade. Why it is a special? Because it will require passport.
Yes.
It will require visa. It will require currency problem. It will require whether you can go there or not because of political rivalry. नीचे से दागा साफ. मेरे आकाश से मत गुजरो. नॉर्थ अमेरिका जा रहे थे तो पहली बार उतने दूर का यात्रा था. सामने स्क्रीन पर आ रहा था इस्लामाबाद, ये बात वो बात सब नजर आ रहा था किस कंट्री के ऊपर सब गुजर रहे हैं. और देखिए कि जैसे मॉस्को में लैंड किया सारा लोग ताली बजा रहा है तो हम भी बजा दिए. मुझे पता नहीं, हो सकता है कि जैसा हो. बाद में बगल में था, उससे पूछे कि काहे बजा रहा है. कहा कि मामूली बात है, दिल्ली में चढ़े और मॉस्को में उतरे. तो जो भी आता है इंटरनेशनल फ्लाइट से तो ताली बजाता है. तो हमको समझ में आया कि लाइफ आपका टंगा हुआ है ऊपर. उतरा तो जिसका बाल बच्चा मॉस्को में था वो अपना परिवार के पास आया. हम तो अपना छोड़ के जा रहे हैं. तो हमारे लिए तो और भी है कि लौटना है. फिर लौटने पर जब यहाँ उतरे इंडिया में तो कोई ताली उली नहीं बजाया. जितना शानदार ताली वहाँ बजाया, सब खूब अच्छा क्लैपिंग कर रहे थे. उसमें जब जा रहे थे तो बहुत तरह का लोग था. इंटरनेशनल लौट रहे थे तो उसको लग रहा है ज़्यादा इंडियन ये सब था. कोई इस तरह का तो कहता है कि इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड इज ए स्पेशल केस. That a special case is created by political economy. Political economy. अभी इंडिया में बनाया है कि कोई भी जो इंडियन बाहर विदेश रह रहा है उसको वो अलग कार्ड मिलेगा और उसको दिखा के वो आ सकता है, जा सकता है. Because we want to attract them. We want to attract their dollar that you save in our SBI. SBI is a government-oriented bank, nationalized bank. Save in that bank. That dollar will come to India, and we will use it in bullet train. And we will return that with interest in dollar. In developed country, interest rate is 1%. And they do not like that people should save. They want that people must spend his whole money. Market will boom. Market will grow. But in our India, we teach our people, don't spend. Save as much as you may. तो उस आदमी से मिले ट्यूसडे को तो बोला कि सर फास्ट है मेरा, और ठीक है। थर्सडे को बोले तो फिर कहा सर मेरा फास्ट है। 2 दिन हुआ, संडे को कहा कि सर मेरा फास्ट है। तो वीक में 2 दिन 3 दिन फास्ट। फास्ट मीन्स डायरेक्टली सेविंग योर करेंसी, डायरेक्टली सेविंग योर करेंसी. This is sacrifice of saving. Why saving is known as sacrifice? Because you sacrifice your present consumption, then you save. Population size, household size is greater. In our Indian case, economists think that large population is a problem. But you go to the household where there is 6 or 7 children, you ask their parents, well, no problem at all. First जो son या daughter, first जो है उसका एक कपड़ा खरीदे, और सेकेंड थर्ड फोर्थ सब यूज हो रहा है. अगर सेम सेक्स का है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. अगर सेक्स डिफरेंस है तो उसमें थोड़ा बनाना पड़ेगा, अगला हो सकता है उसी सेक्स का फिर आ जाए. तो कॉस्ट ऑफ rearing of children, palan posan, that is less in India than in USA. USA में एक चाइल्ड है, उस चाइल्ड को सब चीज अलग होगा, और कोई भी चाइल्ड जो है वो पेरेंट्स के साथ नहीं सोता है, सबका अलग अलग सोनेगा. उतना अफोर्डेबिलिटी भी है, नहीं अफोर्डेबिलिटी है तो चाइल्ड नहीं लवेगा. और वैसे भी 35 इयर्स में वहाँ मैरिज के लिए सोचता है. हमारे यहाँ 35 ईयर में मैरिज उसका फिनिशिंग पर रहता है. डिफरेंस इतना हम लोग के कंट्री में उस कंट्री में है कि वहाँ जाने पर पता लगता है कि हम लोग हाउ वी से दैट वी आर इन ए गुड कंडीशन. वो सब देखने के बाद भी आपको लगेगा क्या बेटर है. बहुत तरह का फ्रीडम आपको है, महसूस कर सकते हैं. तो कहता है कि इन द कंट्री, one country and 2 country, if there is international trade, the first thing, difference किस चीज का होता है? What is difference? Differences. Number 1, करेंसी. करेंसी जो होता है, ये डॉलर है या ये युआन है, ये रुपी है, ये पाउंड स्टर्लिंग है. तो देयर इज a difference of currency, and therefore nation and international trade will be different. This is the argument of classical economist. David Ricardo says that there is a difference between nation and international. There is a worldly trade and there is domestic trade. But modern economy says that no, difference of currency cannot make country typically different, because exchange rate will be determined. Exchange rate will be determined. And so the problem of currency is difference. Answer will be no difference. No difference. Classical economists say that there is a difference. That there are 2 countries, one country has dollar, another country has pound. In our country, rupee. In China case, yuan. Japan case, yen. So barrier of difference of currency will make a difference between national trade and domestic trade. Martin O'Neill says no. Currency differences is not a barrier. Just you will get equilibrium exchange rate between dollar and pound, dollar and euro, and therefore it is not a problem. It is not a problem. Currency difference is not a problem. International trade is a special case of inter-regional trade or interlocal trade. Then another is mobility. Mobility of factors of production. Mobility of factors of production. Economists say that in the country, labor can go from Bihar to Punjab. Labor is mobile. Capital will come from Maharashtra to Bihar. Capital is mobile. So there is mobility of factors of production within the country. But if you talk about the international trade, then there is many barrier. There is many barrier. All laborers cannot freely move to other countries. कुछ ऐसा कंट्री के फ्रीली घुसिएगा, पकड़ा कि कैसे घुसे, तो कहा कि जमीन के नीचे के सुरंग से चले आए। है ना, पिक्चराइज किया कोई सिनेमा में, हीरो जो है, कौन सिनेमा था? बजरंगी भाईजान। कुछ बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग लगा कि सुरंग बनाए हुआ है और वही आपको वीजा पासपोर्ट देगा, ठेला अंदर उस पार, अब अपना भोगिए उधर जो करना। गुजरात का बॉर्डर जो है एकदम सटा हुआ है पाकिस्तान से। तो देख रहे थे जेठालाल जो है ऊंट पर चढ़ा, ऊंटवा जो है चला गया उस पार, उधर गया तो इसको धर लिया कि जासूस है, बोला हमारे ऊंट का दोष है। अब ऊंट फिर वापस लौट गया अपने घर, आई रह गया वहीं। तो सोचिए कि ये तो डिफरेंस हमारा क्रिएट किया हुआ है। इफ होल वर्ल्ड इज ए ग्लोब, वन कंट्री इज a village, global village. Wolin says that factors of production are mobile. Factors of production are mobile. Factors of production are mobile. Factors of production are mobile within the country, and it is also mobile between the countries. Large number of Indians, large number of people from Asia shifted to foreign countries. So it is not impossible, it is possible proposition. And nowadays it is in organized form that you get a passport, you get a visa, and then you can travel. Only this is political economy. It is not impossible. Then third is risk factor. In domestic trade, there is no risk factor. But in international trade, there are many risk factors. There are many laws which will not allow your commodity to enter into the USA if it has not followed certain rules and regulations. standard norms of environment, standard norms of child labor not used in the production of that commodity. So this is risk factor. It is said that no, in domestic trade also risk factor. In domestic trade there is a risk factor. There are many things. दिल्ली में आप हवाई जहाज में रहिएगा तो जाने के पहले अनाउंस करता है कि बिहार जो लोग जा रहे हैं वो बोतल नहीं ले जाए। तो वो पूछ रहा पानी का बोतल, उनको समझ में नहीं आ रहा कौन पानी का बोतल थोड़ी खा रहा है। बॉटल ऑफ वाइन का जो बॉटल है वो बिकता रहता है और दैट मे बी that may not that is not allowed, so you will be caught by the police. अनाउंस कर देता है कि अगर है भी तो फेंक दीजिए, मत दीजिए। तो रेस्ट्रिक्शंस तो विद इन द कंट्री भी रहता है, रिस्क विद इन द कंट्री रहता है एंड आउटसाइड भी रहता है। तो डोमेस्टिक ट्रेड एंड देन demand and supply. Then another difference between national trade and international trade, that there is demand and supply factor. We can use demand and supply factor within the nation and we get the equilibrium price. Collins says no. In international trade also, demand and supply is there in another form. That another form is like demand for wine and supply of cloth. Demand for cloth and supply of wine. This is known as reciprocal demand. Reciprocal demand curve. Reciprocal demand means demand for wine at the same time supply of cloth, supply of wine and demand for cloth. This is represented by offer curve. This is represented by offer curve. Look here. Offer curve of country 1, offer curve of country 2. Suppose this is wine and this is cloth. Suppose this is wine and this is cloth. Then this will be demand for wine, at the same time supply of cloth. And this is demand for cloth, supply of wine. At this point, T, there is intersection between two offer curve. And two offer curve intersection will automatically brings D is equal to S for wine, D is equal to S for cloth, and therefore D is equal to W is equal to S is equal to and D is equal to cloth, S is equal to cloth. So this is equal at international price line. There is a domestic price line, country 1, and there is also domestic price line, country 2. So Ohri says that there is no difference between a small nation and a village market, regional market, domestic market, and national market, international market. All are different only in the space. Local market, interregional market, international trade market. Any other barrier is now solved gradually one way. WTO. What does WTO say? That once foreign goods enter to your own domestic market, there will be no difference between domestic market and foreign market goods. There cannot be any discrimination between domestic market and foreign market. Taxes must be parallel, must be same for domestic commodity and for this. It means even today in the world, we are thinking of a globe having country less restrictions. All restrictions cannot be removed at once. Political restrictions will remain, but economic restrictions gradually it will be removed because there is a gains from international trade. Gains from international trade. Therefore, on larger quantity, larger number of quantities will be made free. In 1991, India has also declared that there is a free market for large number of commodity. We have discussed that large number of commodities made free. No tariff on it, no quota on it. Gradually we are moving towards that, proving that there is no difference between local market, regional market and international trade market. So international trade is a special case of interlocal trade or interregional trade. What will say that there is no difference between interlocal trade or interregional trade or international trade. Currency difference, mobility of factor difference, risk difference, demand supply difference, all these will be sorted out and we will arrive to a one theory known as general equilibrium theory of value. Only we will extend its quality, we will try to cooperate many more factors in it. But the basic thing that the general equilibrium theory of value is still stand important. So we will show it by a tabular form. We will show it by a tabular form that general equilibrium theory of value is based upon demand and supply theory of general equilibrium theory of value. Demand for goods. Supply of goods. Demand for goods depends upon desire for goods. Desire for goods. And another is income of the consumer. demand for goods is basically determined by desire for goods and income of the consumers. Supply of goods